Like, what was it that just said, you know what? That's it. Like, it could have been the contract, like closing down, but you also could have got another one if you wanted to.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good question, and it's interesting. Like, definitely, like looking back, I think there's a couple things. I think it was like it wasn't sustainable what I was doing. Like, you can keep doing that, you know. And I was burnt out, like super burnt out. And then, like, cause like I said, I wasn't snowboarding. Like, I felt like I was a stunt guy, you know. Like, you show up and it's like, all right, here we go. And I think I've lost the love of snowboarding. Like, after years and years of doing it, like, it became like just so robotic almost. Like, you just show up and, like, for sure there's times that was magical, but like towards the end of it, it was just like, yeah, this is not like, I'm not enjoying this anymore. And I could feel like my body wasn't bouncing back anymore. That was definitely like the last few years, like I was very aware of, like my body was like, something was gonna go bad at some point. I would come to Whistler, film parts, and then go see my chiropractor and hang out with my family. Go back and do that. And like, it was just a matter of time. So like, I knew that was it. And looking back, I think like at this very like early days of my career, I've witnessed some of the guys like having that struggle in snowboarding where they were like hanging on to something that wasn't probably going anywhere anymore. And I saw that struggle like emotionally, and I just kind of made pact with myself. It's like, I'm not going to do that. Like, I don't want to walk away with that. Like, so grateful what snowboarding given to me. And I want to have that's special to me. I don't want to walk away being in a situation where I'm like bitter about it because the things are not going your way anymore. So like everything was just like teeing off to that moment. So I was sort of brewing, but what's really hard too, it's like when you kind of know it's coming and what we're doing as far as like kind of how gnarly it was shooting some of these stuff, like you can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like you really can't. And that's where I started like, okay, like I'm not like 100% in it anymore. And like, that's when you start playing with fire because that's when shit goes wrong. And it was that, and then it was the last day of filming. Like basically my last day filming as a professional snowboarder, we're in Whistler, we had heli time. We still like, we should have just gone home, but we still had like one day and we went out and I never forget, like we were in a zone we'd never been. So it was already like kind of weird. We're like, oh, let's do warm-up laps. And the snow was like kind of changing. So it's like, it didn't feel right. I closed the heli door and I just had such a strong sense like, we should not be doing this. Like, it was just like, hit me in the gut. Like, hey, like this is, something's not right. And it was pretty mellow run. Like, there's a convex roller, and I was like, okay, if it's gonna go, it's gonna go there. And then I kind of do a turn, nothing goes, and all of a sudden the whole hill just cracks. And it wasn't like the typical Avi, because this was spring, so it was all like spring, like winter loaded. So I go down. I'm luckily I carried enough speed, so I was going faster than Avi, and it piles up like, you know, previously like where I hit it and it was not good. And it was able to jump over, and then I had like a high spot on the right. So I just kind of do like a big turn, and I look back and I'm like, oh my God, like there's like car-sized chunks just coming down the mountain. And that split second, I was like, that's it. I'm out. And I called my wife and I was like, I'm coming home for good.
No way.
And drove home. And I don't know if Mikey remembers this, but I sent the photo to Mikey. I drove my Tacoma to Toyota and swapped it to Prius. And I just sent him a photo of Prius. It's like, this is it.
That's boss.